All right, welcome back. Let's go into a quick comments corner. This was the latest video on my car shopping experience, something about sealed or so-called sealed transmissions. Thank you for all of your comments, by the way. All right, let's see, what do we have here? Neo Fish Addict, hello. We have a 2006 Equinox, I believe that's a Chevy, with a sealed tranny. I know GM has been doing this for years now. I can say that I've had no issues with it. I think we have about 145,000 miles on it. Wow. Now ours can be serviced a la filter and fluid change, just can't check the level. Um, One thing about, I have a Buick that I had serviced some time ago, the transmission, and the service guy recommended that not to power flush, but just to drain and refill. And I do recall that it cost me a little bit more than I thought because he looked it up and he had to use a very specific transmission fluid for that particular Buick. I think it ran like 10 bucks a quart, I'm not sure. But that same day I had the fluid change, oil change, full synthetic oil. I think I changed the air filter myself. In fact, I had all the fluids checked. And my car so far, my Buick SUV, runs fantastic. So I'm happy with my service so far on my car. Okay, let's see what we have here. I wouldn't argue about synthetic fluids. As an example, my semi-truck has synthetic engine oil, which has a 50K change interval. I was surprised. I had to reply, 50K seems high. But you reply, Neofish, not on the big truck because it's some specially formulated stuff for semi-trucks. 1,070,000 miles? Runs great and doesn't use any oil. You don't drive a Lexus, do you? Thank you for the comment. Let's see. Yes, sir. 1 million. The company I work for makes sure that their money's worth. Okay, to get their money's worth. Okay, Neofish. Thank you. This is from Joe Johnson. Hello, Joe. There is no such thing as a sealed transmission. Well, again, I believe the sealed part is on the top. In the engine compartment when you pop the hood. That's the sealed part. I believe there is that plug at the bottom, the drain plug or whatever it's called. Okay, only morons think that they know what they are doing coming up with the sealed BS. All transmissions have a way of checking and changing fluid. They either have a dipstick or, yes, that's it, fill plug. I couldn't think of the word. I know this because I am an automotive technician by trade. Transmission fluid needs to be changed every 30,000 miles or less. I guess each car is different. Each manufacturer recommendation is different. I do believe in changing all the fluids eventually, unless the car is falling apart. Mine is not, but every time I go, here in Ohio, we do not have a mandatory inspection, but I go every 6 months anyway. I tell the mechanic, put it on the lift, check everything out. I think it's like 20 bucks, even less than that, just for peace of mind. Let's see, never flush a transmission because it can get contaminated from the previous transmission, that it was flushed with an incompatible fluid. Yeah, I do believe in the right fluids for whatever car you have. Normally I'll go to my local AutoZone, or now we just have a new store, O'Reilly's Auto Parts. I walk in, I have a look up my car, and I ask him, just tell me what I need, and that's what I buy. Okay, Buck Rogers, ooh, hello there. Sealed transmissions are a newer thing. My car is one you just no longer change transmission fluid. If it leaks, you just buy a new one rather than be able to top it off. That seems rather drastic. Unless the transmission's falling apart and the car won't go. But yeah, I do believe in changing the transmission fluid. I would say at the most 100,000 miles, but that seems like a lot. Again, that's just my opinion, but I would probably change transmission fluid probably every 50,000 miles. I use full synthetic motor oil, and I'm willing to go between 5 and 10,000 miles on full synthetic, but even that's pushing it. Okay, Joe Johnson, BS, there is no such thing as a sealed transmission. Joe, thank you for the reply, but please calm down. Again, I believe it's sealed from the top, not from the bottom because of that drain, that fill plug. But I get the meaning of a sealed transmission now. Matthew, what's up? We need to do another car speak, Matthew, number 4, about all this stuff, because there's a lot of information here. This is all new to me. Anyway, I'll get in touch with you, Matthew. Okay, these are very common in newer cars. As a former automotive technician, it's a design I happen to agree with. I started seeing these in domestic brands in 2005, starting with Chrysler. BM did it first. I'm not 100% on that. It doesn't come with a dipstick, but the dealership has a dipstick that goes into the service port. I guess that's the port at the bottom of the transmission, right? A dipstick that is cheap you can buy online. I did check that website, Summit. I'm a little confused how that aftermarket dipstick works. Maybe we can talk about it later, Matthew. First of all, a large number of transmission problems were coming from customers that put in wrong fluids. Some transmissions require very specific fluids. Yeah, just like my Buick needed, I forget what it was called, but it was rather expensive, $10 a quart or something like that. But my car runs great, so I'm very happy. Let's see, I won't go through all of this. I spent 5 years working on cars that and AG1s, and 5 years I only came across one they needed repair. So just one. So I think the results speak for itself. And if you want a dipstick bad enough, you can buy one online. Honestly, if I buy like a Ford Explorer, I'm just gonna take it to my local guy here and just say, look, just check the transmission fluid, I guess, from that fill plug from the bottom, and I'm just gonna have him drain it. I think I will feel, I guess, for personal satisfaction. So, for better or for worse. Yeah, Matthew, thank you. It's Summit. I did check that website, Summit Parts. Like I said, I'm confused about how that, where you plug in or where you put that transmission dipstick. So if buy a used Explorer, went to change transmission fluid, typically you don't. These sealed transmissions are built to last for the life of the vehicle. Changing the fluid can actually cause problems, more problems than it solves. You might be right. I just feel better with the car that has fresh blood, as it were. Again, this is all new to me, so I am a big fan of putting fresh blood, fresh fluids in a car. I don't believe necessarily in a flush, a power flush, not flushing the radiator or the transmission, but I believe in draining and refill. But that's just me. Super Hollow-fied, what's up? Curious, do you have a specific model year you refuse to go below in your search? I did reply, not really, but 2002 is probably as low as I will go. I even consider a 2000 used Lexus with 200,000 miles. It's a lot of miles, but it is a Lexus, right? Okay, thank you for all of your comments. This does help me out a little bit, at least knowing what a sealed transmission is. It's basically sealed from the engine compartment, meaning there's no dipstick. That part's sealed, but I know I saw a video from the bottom. If you jack up the car, there is that plug, whatever it's called, to access the fluid. And I guess they refilled the fluid with some kind of a pump thingy. I'm not sure. Again, this is all new to me, but I can see the pros and cons in something like this. And yeah, you put the wrong fluid in, the wrong transmission fluid in the car, big trouble. So I can see the pros of a so-called sealed transmission, or at least sealed from the top. Anyway, thank you for all of your comments and advice. It will help in I think I'm going car shopping tomorrow. And it's just a long, tedious process. I learned from a friend of mine in Florida who was a retired car manager. He was retired from the car business and told me everything, all the tricks on how to shop for a car. It was an eye-opener. Anyway, those are the tips I use today on how to shop for a car and get the best deal. My conclusion to all this: buy a nice, small, economical Toyota if you can fit in one. I'm over 6'2". I cannot fit. So Toyotas, for me, it's out unless I get a Land Cruiser or a Sequoia or something. I just don't need anything that big. Anyway, buy a Toyota or a Lexus. They are phenomenal. All right, well, that's all I have for this one. Thank you for your time and your tips. I will keep you guys posted. Thank you.